In this video, we're going to show you how to replace the starter on your Nissan Rogue located on the backside of your engine. With the hood open, we're going to use a 10mm wrench to go ahead and loosen this nut and disconnect the ground terminal off of our battery. And just go ahead and twist it off to the side. Let's go ahead and remove our center cap here, reach behind that and pull outward. Set that aside. Using a 21mm socket, let's go ahead, loosen and remove these lug nuts. Go ahead and grab that wheel. Remove it and set it aside. Now, accessing the starter through the wheel well area here, I'm going to go up inside. And there is a starter right there, that can-looking unit. There are two bolts. They're up and down of one another. We're going to go ahead and loosen and remove those. There's a wiring harness right there. You can see the ribbed wire harness right there going to that black rubber boot. We're going to remove the nut holding that wire there. Just below that, there's a black and white wire going across to that connector in the center of the screen right there. We're going to disconnect that, and hopefully we'll be able to remove the starter at that point. Peel back this rubber boot right here, and that's going to give us access to this nut. Let's go ahead and loosen and remove that. Using a 12mm socket, let's go ahead and loosen and remove that nut. Wiggle that wire off, set it aside. The connector over here, I want to go ahead and disconnect that. So we're able to just press down on the middle of this little tab and pop that off. Using a 16mm shallow socket and a long extension, let's go ahead and break these bolts free and remove them. Get our lower bolt, get the upper bolt. All right, go ahead and pull that starter down. And we're going to work this out through the passenger side wheel well. Once we have the starter pressed in there, we can go ahead and insert the two bolts and get those started by hand. And then that should line up with the flywheel itself. Before you use power tools to get these zipped in, you want to make sure that they go in nice and easy by hand, using your ratchet. So you can torque these bolts down to 44 foot-pounds. And do that for both. Go ahead and line up the electrical connector. Press that in, you can feel it and hear it lock into place. Then we have our battery terminal up top. Go ahead and get that pressed on. Install the nut. And once you have that nut on, it's threaded down as far as you can by hand. The new nut supplied is a 13mm. Snug that down. Once you feel that nut bottom out, just give it a little bit more. Then you can go ahead and slide that rubber boot over that. At this point here, the starter is installed. Let's go ahead and reconnect the battery. Take your wheel, line it up, get that set on, and let's go ahead and install all the lug nuts by hand. Get them started a few threads. Once we have all those started, let's go ahead and snug those down. Let's go ahead and torque down our lug nuts to 80 foot-pounds. Once you're all torqued down, install your center cap. And pay attention to the notch here on the cap. That's where your valve stem is going to go. Whip down the negative terminal. Go ahead and grab that. Hook up that wire, and using our 10mm wrench, go ahead and tighten down that nut. Be careful not to over tighten this. You can ruin the terminal. You're all set.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.